Hey guys, Alex here from Homeschool of Bel-Air. Today's video is a quick little life update, and I'm going to give you guys also a little updated homeschool room tour. Stay tuned. Okay, so first for the update. You guys have noticed I've probably been a little bit MIA when it comes to YouTube videos. I haven't been posting. I have been just super busy with homeschooling, as far as nannying the girls that I nanny, just being busy with all of that kind of stuff. So it just hasn't allowed me or allotted me time to do any kind of filming or any kind of editing for that matter. So I've just kind of been taking a little bit of a break. I also pretty much for the whole week of Halloween, I was just super busy with projects with the kids. We had planned out a weekend away out of town for my birthday, just like an early birthday weekend. My brother came out to visit, then I had my sister and my brother-in-law come out and visit the following week. So just with all of that, I've just been super busy. You guys can definitely feel free and follow me on Instagram, keep up with me a little bit more. I do tend to post a little bit more when it comes to my day-to-day, when it comes to even homeschooling, which is the majority of my life, and just life in general. So with that being said, I did have a few weeks where I wasn't homeschooling my daughter. She decided to not want to homeschool, and it was just becoming a little bit of a headache. It was becoming a little bit just kind of tedious just to get her up here, get her to do any kind of work. So I can't remember what week it was. I want to say it was even the first week of October. She just wasn't wanting to do anything, and it was just, not that it was stressing me, it was just a lot more effort out of me to stop what I'm doing with the boys to try to get her to sit and do any kind of work. So I decided to just stop. I decided to stop. She decided she just didn't want to do it. So being that I'm doing a little bit more of a relaxed homeschooling this year, I decided, you know what, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to let her chill. I'm going to let her do what she wants to do for a couple of weeks. And then I'm going to change her homeschooling style a little bit. And my goal was to give her a few months off and come after Christmas break to just kind of start fresh January. But I decided to go ahead and start this week. Just because I have all the materials to change her homeschooling. I'm doing a little bit more hands-on, where I think at the beginning I was trying to do too many worksheets for her. And she's only 3. So a lot of the worksheets and a lot of the, she doesn't really write, but I was making her write and making her color quite a bit. I think it was just becoming a little too boring for her, I guess. And the homeschooling that I did last year for my 5-year-old, we did a little bit more of a hands-on preschool. So what I did was I'm just adapting all of that, what I used to do with him, and doing it with her now. And that's, we started it today, and she completed her whole entire day, and it just so much better. It's just easier on me. I kind of just give her puzzles or, like, just sensory bins, whatever it might be, and just have her, play with it. She's still learning. She's still, she's having fun doing it, but she's still learning. And that's my main point, that I want them to, be able to learn stuff and have fun doing it. So that's my little life update when it comes to the boys. Nothing new. They're doing great. I had changed my son's math. That's the only real big difference. We went from Singapore math to Themeville math. He's really enjoying the Themeville math. I feel like it's a little advanced. I do have to almost like sit with him and help him out just a little bit more. But we're going back and forth. We'll do lessons from Themeville math, and then once in a while, like today, he did Singapore math. One lesson from Singapore math. So with that being said, that's going great. I'm trying to think what other changes. I haven't really made any changes, but I do want to give you guys an updated room tour, only because I have changed it up a bit, and I have a reason why. And I'll just tell you guys real quick why I changed it. So my 8-year-old still has a lot of trouble with word flipping. He still has a lot of trouble with the B and the D. He has trouble with his 7s. I'm trying to think what other letters he flips. He flips quite a bit of letters. Sometimes even complete words. He'll just completely flip the words. A couple weeks ago, it was actually kind of funny. I had posted it on my Instagram account where the word was saw, the fox saw a cat, or something like that. The sentence read, and he read it, the fox was a cat, and he was so confused as to why the fox was a cat. And I mean, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like, baby, you're flipping the whole entire word, you know? So he still has trouble with word flipping and letter flipping. So one of the things that when I read up on this, one of the things that they mentioned was for schools, when kids have this problem, that it's almost recommended to not have kids sit face to face with each other. Because if you give, let's say, you know, one child a worksheet to work on, and the kid that's word flipping, if he's looking at the paper, he's now looking at it upside down. And not that he's looking at my other son's work, but there was times where he would, you know, look up and look at my 5-year-old's desk. And when I was reading up on it, it says that, you know, because they're looking at the paper upside down, it just causes more confusion in their brain, because they already see words backwards or letters backwards, and now they're looking at them not only backwards but upside down, and it can cause a lot of confusion in their little brains. So I decided to put their desks side by side, and I will show you guys that in a second, how I set them up. So I went ahead and set them up side by side, which is what is recommended for a child that flips words or flips letters. But so that's one of the main reasons why I decided to rearrange my homeschool room. One key point I do want to make, I don't want people to think that if you're new to homeschooling, that you have to have a homeschool room. You don't by any means have to have a homeschool room to do any kind of homeschooling. I do get a lot of people, even on my Instagram, messaging me privately how they wish they had a homeschool room and how they love it. And, you know, I'm just very grateful that we have this extra room where we can do our homeschooling. For me, I just felt with the distractions that my son, the troubles that my 8-year-old was having in regular school when he was in kindergarten and first grade and in regular school, a lot of it was him being just distracted with certain things and too many students and what, you know, Billy was doing over here. It was just too much of a distraction. And I just felt, when I started researching homeschooling, I just felt like it was going to fit my family, in the sense that we pulled ourselves away from our regular house and, you know, his bedroom, our television, our couches. We pull ourselves away from that environment and go into our learning environment. So for me, I just felt like it was going to help us, and I do feel like it does, because there's times where I do want to do my reading lesson with him one-on-one on the couch, and a few minutes into it, I realize, bad idea. It's just not working out. He gets distracted. He wants, you know, he gets distracted with the cushions of the couch. He gets distracted with what's going on, you know, in the room across the hall. And it's just, it causes too much of a distraction. So for me, it does fit our family to do school in a homeschool room. And like I said, I'm very grateful that we have an extra room that we can do it in. So I don't want you to think, if you're new to homeschooling, that you have to have a homeschool room. You don't. By any means, you don't. You can have a corner in a house. You can have your couch. You can have your dining room. You can have, I mean, you can homeschool pretty much anywhere. Will this homeschool room, will they use it forever? Probably not. I think once they get into junior high, even high school, they might not even want to come up here anymore. And I'll be totally okay with that. It's just right now, it's what fits us and our, you know, our family now. So I'm trying to think what else I want to update you guys on. I don't think there's much more updating. So one of the other things that I wanted to, I guess things that I've changed in their homeschool room, or I have everything else that we're still doing the same thing. The one thing that I have introduced to the boys that I was going to wait till the beginning of the year to introduce it to them, but I decided, since today was our first day back after a long break, we took 2 weeks off, guys. The one thing that I decided to introduce this week, and I introduced it to, we're going to be doing it with the 2 girls that I nanny and my 2 boys. So with the 4 of us, we're going to be doing and I'm going to move up close because I know it's going to have a glare, the Big Life Journal. And if you guys aren't familiar with this, it is a growth mindset journal. And this is something that I saw, I followed this girl on Instagram, hi Shauna, my Coconut Crew, and she had this journal printed out for her son. And when I saw it, I was really looking for something to get my boys more positive thinking about wrestling. You know, they wrestle, and there's days where I feel like they feel like they're being pushed a little too hard when it comes to practice, and then practicing at home, and you know, winning medals at, you know, tournaments, and you know, being upset if they don't win and things like that. So I had, in so many words, me and my husband tried to explain to them that, you know, you're not going to win every single match. You know, you're going to lose some, but you lose some and you're going to learn, you know, what are the things you need to practice more for the next tournament. So it was more, I wanted them to not be so negative on themselves, you know, if they lost a match or whatever. So this is actually something that I had been looking for. So when I saw it, when she had posted on Instagram, I asked her about it. I mean, I seriously felt like the skies opened up, and it was like, oh, this is exactly what I was looking for them. And I went ahead and I decided to buy the PDF version of it. Not just because I was planning on using it with both the boys, but I had initially thought that it might be something good also for the girls that I nanny. For them, it would be an awesome experience for all of us to do it together. And they only come over once to twice a week, which I thought was perfect, because this journal, you only do it once a week. So I figure on the day that they come over, like today, we were going to go ahead and work from the journal. So this is something new, like I said, that we introduced in our homeschool. And I'll probably make a whole other video as to how I'm using it with the kids, with all 4 of them. But that's going to be just a whole other video. But anyways, when I saw it on that Instagram, when she posted it, I knew I had to have it. And you can purchase the actual book, and it's already, it's like a regular book. The main reason I decided not to get the book was because from all the pictures that I had seen with the book, it seems to be a fairly small book. It's probably I don't know, what, 7 by 5, maybe 7 by 4. I don't know. It seems kind of small from the pictures I've seen. I don't know. It could be bigger than that. My boys write really big. They both do. They both write really big, and I thought, okay, it's either buy the PDF and make it regular size, or buy the book and they're gonna have to be writing on a notebook because it's gonna be too small for them. So I decided to go ahead and purchase the PDF. Disclaimer, you are allowed to print out more than one version as long as you're not obviously distributing it. So that's another thing. If you guys are interested in getting it, I do recommend the ebook. It is quite a thick book, so it is going to take a little bit to print out, but I love my printer, and I was able to print out one full copy of it, and one with just the like I said, I'll have to make a video as to how I'm using it. Yes, so anyway, so this is one thing that we are doing differently that's new, and sorry again, it's not going to show up, the Big Life Journal. So this is something new that we're doing in our homeschool room. But other than that, everything else is the same. And again, like I said, this is something that is just once a week. I'm trying to think. I think that's all. So now I'm going to go ahead and take you guys around and show you guys how I've rearranged our homeschool. So I'm going to go ahead and start from the entrance of our homeschool room. This room is actually a loft room that is located above our garage and a little bit into our dining room downstairs. So if you guys can see, here are the stairs. There's my daughter right there. So yeah, so you come up and this is our homeschool room. So one of the things that I've done differently is I have utilized this little area, and it's right above the stairs, and it's going to be kind of hard to see because my light actually went out. Okay, so I went ahead and got my little light for my phone because it's very dark in this little area. So this is the top of the stairs here, guys. So I am utilizing this little area, and it's just a small little platform area before you get into the homeschool room. Now on this little corner here, what I'm using this area for is extra bins, extra trays. I do have some extra bags, reusable bags that I use for anytime we go to the library to check out our books. Any of my work trays, when it comes to the magnetic ones, the craft mats, big trays, little trays, book bins, the little trays that I set the manipulatives for the kids anytime they're doing anything is going to be here. Instead, what I ended up doing is bringing out all these little toys that just kind of keep the kids busy whenever we're not doing anything. Games, the Wacky Stackers, the Marble Run, dinosaurs, cookie molds, my daughter's play food, and the little rock and robots. All that stuff is here along with the gears. I also have my vacuum out here that I use, and then a few little crafts that we had from Halloween. This corner here is just junk. My husband's old comic books are here, and then some extra printer paper that I really just have nowhere to put, so I just kind of sitting there. Okay, so coming in, here on the side is where I keep all the kids' Legos, Duplos, Play-Doh, anything like that is in there. A few little extra activities that I have on top of there. On this side, and don't mind the little, you see, I'm working on a curtain for that. I just haven't gotten to sew it. Up here, I do have a few little activities. I do have anything having to do with hot dots up there, phonic type games and activities there. The Ultimate Kindergarten curriculum is up here. I just don't have a shelf for it, so it just kind of sits up here. Extra stuff that I have in the storage unit here. Probably one of my favorite little purchases for homeschool room. I feel like it looks really sleek and clean. So anyways, this is where we keep our maps. And if you guys want to, I'm going to try, and I hate asking people if you guys want me to make a video about certain things. I'm going to try to work a video into going more in depth into what I have in these little storage bins. It's going to make it too long of a video if I go into it now. But so we have our maps here, my chalkboard there. Anything having to do with art, the kids' art projects, I kind of hang up there along with my art closet, and I'll show you guys in a second. This table here used to be here, and I ended up bringing the legs down a little bit, make it shorter, because it was making it really wobbly to have it so high up. And when the girls that I nanny come over, this is where they sit and they work. And considering they're very tall, they don't actually mind having to sit in such small little chairs. They're petite girls, they're just tall. So they sit perfectly there. My All About Reading board is right there. And our little keyboard, our word building center thing is there. And then the alphabet one is right underneath it. For the Ultimate Kindergarten curriculum, it calls for the reading program. It has little sight words that you hang up. And I'm probably going to end up moving it because Adrian can't reach it there. Before he would move up his chair and do it. But I think I'm going to set it up here. So I'm going to probably work on that later, probably this coming weekend. So in case people were wondering, I did get questions about it on my Instagram. If I was using the Ultimate Kindergarten curriculum, I had done a review on it. And I had mentioned in that video that it wasn't going to be my main curriculum. It was actually going to be a supplement that I incorporate in our homeschooling. And I'm doing just that. I am not using it how Jackie intended, in the sense that she had a day-by-day setup. I am using it, but I am kind of just pulling pages from the notebooks and adding them to a little folder that I created for my son. And we work from it. Every so often, I do pull out pages for him to work on. I do love her reading the little sight word things, and I'll show you guys up close. It's just little shirts, and you glue the little sight words on, and then you clothespin them on. So I do like that. So we are using that, of course. And then, so in case, like I said, if you guys were wondering, yes, we are using it. It's just not our main curriculum. So anyways, our extra subject workboxes are here still. This was something that I had done before. Math manipulative bin, along with the yellow one. My daughter was up here playing right now, so that's stuff. Don't mind that stuff. So all this stuff, again, if you guys, I'm going to try to work on a video going more in depth into what I have inside of these bins here. And inside my math manipulative bins, especially, I'm probably going to make a whole separate video on that. So anyways, books that we're reading for the month, my library book bin, which is empty right now. It actually just has a game in there. And then my highlights magazines, construction paper, extra supplies for the girls, and my daughter's preschool area, which is pretty much the same from last update video. Everything for the most part is already set up for her for tomorrow. So everything is, or her trays are filled up with her schoolwork for tomorrow. So everything's ready to go. And then I'll show you guys the boys area now. So the boys' desks are now facing forward, and they are side by side. I did have to minimize their work boxes. They each did have 2 more work boxes, but one of them was just for the morning binder, and the other one was just extra work, which is pretty much meant coloring books and sticker books. And we don't have a lot of free time in between because they are doing a lot of the same work and they're doing it together. So I decided to go ahead and get rid of the extra work box and the morning binder one, because the morning binder fit right in here. So that's where they have their morning binders. And then all their curriculum obviously inside their work boxes. And don't mind the toilet paper here. My 8-year-old has had a runny nose. So that was, he just has a roll of toilet paper to blow his nose. So that's that. They have their read curriculum. They're both doing the read from the Crafty Classroom. So their little bins are there on the side with their binder. And then next to that, I do have an extra bin just for extra stuff. So Vincent, my eldest, has all his math manipulatives inside of there that he's using for his math. Adrian doesn't have that yet because he just has his sponge glue and his crayons in there. But once he starts using more math manipulatives, I know I'm going to have this little bin to stick them in. Their Big Life journal is also housed right in between there. So that's Adrian's, and then Vincent's is pretty much in the same spot. So he has it right in there. So yeah, so this is their little setup. And again, I feel like it's just more functional. It's easier for me to, because we're doing lessons together, it's easier for me to stand in front of them. They're facing me. Vincent, I mentioned before, he has issues with his word flipping and letter flipping. So he does have a little chart in front of him because these are the two main letters that he flips quite a bit. So I have that in front of him. For Adrian, I just have a little number chart that I made for him, and then a little alphabet and name chart for his desk. These are things that he still uses when it comes to reading, when it comes to spelling his name. He still has trouble spelling his name. He has trouble with the last 3 letters for some reason. So that is what they have. Under their desk, they do have their water jugs and their little trash can. They each have a trash can. And then behind them, they do have I do have my craft and art closet. So that is all in here. So that hasn't changed. I did organize it a little bit different. But other than that, everything is the same. All my stuff is the same. I have in my little mommy workbox area, I have accumulated more things that I'm using. So yeah, so this is my teacher area. And that hasn't changed. I do have a little bit of extra storage space that's empty right now under my desk. And that is just extra bins that I have. But other than that, everything is the same. Let me go ahead and pan it around again. So this is Evelyn's little preschool area. Super cute. Her magnet thing keeps falling, so I just need to figure out something out for that. And then the boys' desk, the black desk back there. And like I said, I feel like it looks a little bit more open. It looks a little bit bigger. So I do like the way the desks are set up like this better. But that's it, guys. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. If you guys want me to go more in depth into maybe what's in their work boxes and maybe what's in my teacher work boxes, what's inside the bins, anything like that, let me know. I'm still probably going to end up doing it anyway. But, you know, just in case, if there's something specific you guys want to see, please feel free to let me know. But with that being said, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.